So yesterday I got invited to a friend's pool party, and it gave me an opportunity to meet other people. And I was having a conversation with someone there, and she was asking me about my tattoos. So a little backstory. So I have about 15 tattoos, and I'm very sure I'm going to get more down the line. And she was also asking me about the stories behind the tattoos that I have. And I was telling her the story of all the tattoos, and I was also telling her that for me, all the tattoos that I get are very, very intentional. And there's a reason why I don't get tattoos on my back. I always get them on my forearm, and I have about 3 here on my chest area, because for me, tattoos act as a constant reminder of what is very important to me in my life, because it's very easy for me to get lost in the mental stories of my mind and my brain, that once my brain is always seeing the tattoos all over my body, on my forearm, is easier to ground myself and bring myself back into the present moment. So that's like the core of why I get tattoos in my life. They act as eternal reminders of what's present. But out of all the 15 tattoos that I have, I think 2 are like my favorite, and the first one is being human right here, and the other one is memento mori. So I was explaining to her, because I got this like a few years ago, probably like 4 years ago, and I was explaining to her like the reason why I got memento mori, because for the longest time in my life, I've always been terrified about my own mortality. I've always been terrified about death. Like, if the thought comes through, I literally will always just shut down. I'm like, oh my God. And I started to understand why over the years, why it was that way, because growing up in Nigeria, people don't talk about death as part of a transition from one form to another. It's like a taboo topic. So death is like a hush hush. It's like not to be spoken about. So me not, it wasn't talked about as a cultural norm. So growing up, now that I'm in my adulthood, and of course we're all gonna die, I have to come to terms with my own mortality. So thinking about it really terrified me until I was able to like really, really sit with, death and the beauty around death, and understanding that life is death and death is life. But getting this tattoo, so memento mori is a stoic principle that means remember you must die. Now at first that sounds very morbid, like, oh my God, why are you saying that? But to me, getting this tattoo, remember you must die, reminds me every day, every living day that I breathe and I'm alive, that I should live my life to the fullest and try my best to live my life on my own terms and what brings joy to my heart. Now, that didn't come easy. It came by me really understanding what my values are. Now, there's also this quote that really helped me accept my own mortality. And the quote goes, live your life, clean your house like you're expecting visitors, and open your heart like you're expecting death. And that allowed me to really, really start to understand that tomorrow is not guaranteed, right? But most importantly, I always ask myself every night, and I've been doing this for what, I don't know, maybe like 3 years now, consciously, intentionally. Every night I ask myself 3 questions. One, did you have fun today? One, did you show yourself some level of compassion to the best of your ability? And the third one, were you able to be kind to another human being? If I check those 3 boxes, if I die tonight, I have died with an open heart. And I always try my best, to the best of my ability, to live true to my own values: fun, compassion, and kindness. And me explaining the story behind all my tattoos made me really appreciate the gift of life, the gift of being human. And I just thought I'd share, because I feel like it's very easy to forget that at some point we're not going to be here anymore, and we need to start to embrace this present moment, do the things that bring us joy, not procrastinate things that we truly want to experience. But I just thought I'd share, because it made me understand, like, life is very fragile, but at the same time, life is very beautiful, and it's a precious gift that I personally, on my journey, I do not take for granted, because one minute we're here, the next minute we're not. So I always remind myself as often as I can to be here now.